Joining us is Omry Makgoale, ANC veteran. Dr. Makgoale, always good to speak to you. Appreciate your time. So many issues coming out of this conversation by the President this morning, and also on the back of the NEC committee meeting from yesterday. And one of the things that David Makgoale spoke about was the issues around how breakaway parties have resulted in the ANC falling or failing in this particular election. What are your thoughts on that, Dr. Makgoale?
Yes, it's true that the breakaway parties did have a serious impact on the ANC and led to the ANC losing elections this year, and especially the MK party of the former president Zuma, with the emblems and the logos from our history past of ANC. So it actually confused a lot of people in terms of voting for former President Zuma, because some people thought that they are still voting for ANC in one way or another because he said he's still a member of the ANC. So that affected us a lot. And it is true that the breakaway parties have cost the ANC a lot. But there are many breakaway parties, and they all left with a percentage, from the time when PAC was formed, UDM, and recently EFF and the MK party, Omry Makgoale party, General Mutau's party. All these parties have taken a bit of ANC, but the one that took more is the former President Zuma, because he was using our logos, using MK logo, and that confused a lot of people. I think that's the main problem. It's true that the breakaway parties did cost us a lot. I would say that our biggest problem is that at the moment is that the ANC must change. And for the ANC to win over the support, it must change. And the changes that are required basically is attitude towards wrongdoing, attitude towards corruption. The ANC has not failed because of policies. We don't have problems of policies. We have problems of attitude towards corruption, how we handle wrongdoing inside the ANC, how we handle the state capture. Those people implicated there are still in the candidate list, are still in parliament. And so our biggest problem is handling corruption. And the leaders have not really addressed that issue. Whether it was yesterday, David Makgoale talking about that, or today the president talking about it. The main issue is corruption. And until we address corruption and wrongdoing in the ANC in a much more vigorous way, we cannot get back the support.
Now how do you envision that process is going to work, Dr. Makgoale? Because one of the issues that Parliament, or certainly many parliamentarians have been talking about, is the Pala farm saga, which involves one of the ANC's top leaders. So there are many issues around the leadership of the ANC. So how is this process going to work, as you suggest that the ANC needs to rebuild, rethink, and I suppose deal with the issues around corruption?
Yes, so the main issue, I would say that the key issue is the policy changes around Integrity Commission. Integrity Commission must be given powers to remove people from the candidate list, remove people from leadership position when they are implicated. They must not be left there to the mercy, and then from there Integrity Commission must take to the NEC, and the NEC must decide when the NEC members are actually implicated. Because most of these integrity issues affect the NEC members. And these NEC members are the cause of the problem, because they are implicated in these wrongdoings. And it is the NEC that is failing to address wrongdoings. It is the NEC that has failed to clean up the list of the candidate list before the last elections. And it is the NEC that has caused all this from the Tuli House. So until the Integrity Commission, in my mind, has got power to remove people who are implicated from the list of candidates, remove them from office, whether it be in the NEC or ministry positions or directors, they should be removed. If ANC members are implicated, Integrity Commission should have the power to remove them. Until we do that, I'm afraid we cannot clean up the ANC.
Dr. Makgoale, do you feel that there's a discrepancy or a divide between the veterans and the older leadership, individuals such as yourselves, some of the former presidents who often speak around integrity, who speak around value and principles. The same conversations are not often heard by those that are in current leadership of the ANC. How do you reconcile that divide?
Yes, we do have that. It's ANC policy, you know, through the eye of the needle. It's ANC policy, you know, and but it's not being implemented by the Tuli House. It's not being implemented by NEC members, and so the understanding of integrity at the moment, the way we understand it, is not the same way as members of the NEC or members in the cabinet. They think that it should be the law. You should be charged by the courts and be arrested before you are removed. And the integrity doesn't really depend on that. You see, when you reach a level where you are arrested, it means you are a criminal. It's no longer an issue of integrity. Once you are arrested, it means you are a criminal. So when we talk of integrity, we think of good behavior from leaders. When the leaders don't have good behavior, then we talk of integrity. But when you have stolen, you are already a criminal. We're no longer talking of integrity in that case. So we're talking of a criminal. And so there should be that difference, and that difference, unfortunately, is not properly, understood at the moment. So most of the ANC leaders, they think that they can only be removed from office when they are arrested or charged by police, and we think that that is far too down the line, because integrity, implies good behavior. You must behave in a proper way as an ANC member, and at the moment they are not doing that. And this is why we have to rely on the police to arrest them, because they are behaving like criminals, let alone ANC leaders. So it's disgraceful for our side.
Final thoughts before we let you go. ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa spoke to, we are now faced with a challenge of having to make tough decisions, right? Is there willingness, willpower to make tough decisions to bring back the ANC from that 40% to way above 50%, or at the very least 57%, where it was in the previous election? Is there willpower to do that? Do you see it happening?
Look, I don't know whether the current leadership has got that willpower to do that. But as to what must be done, they know. They know what must be done. They know that all the people implicated in all wrongdoings should be removed from it. They know that. But the question is, they don't have the will to do that. They don't have the courage to do that. And this is why the ANC continues to go down, because they don't have the courage from the Tuli House to actually address these problems. All those implicated in wrongdoing should be removed from office without hesitation. But they are keeping them there, and they say they will wait until they are arrested or charged. And this is why I say it's no longer an issue of integrity. When you are charged, it means you are a criminal. We're no longer talking of somebody with low integrity, but we're talking of a criminal when you are charged. So I think that until they change, until the Tuli House change, from how they do things now, and I doubt if this current leadership of the Tuli House has got the capacity and the will to do that. I doubt. But I'm there to be proved wrong.
Omry Makgoale, ANC veteran, I appreciate your time, Tata. Thank you so much for speaking to us.